Welcome to RimWorld. This is a series that I've really wanted to play for a very long time, but wasn't sure what work on this, like with my channel, and there was a lot of things to be considered, but I figured with the potential changes coming to the YouTube from Kappa, might as well have a game as potentially dark as RimWorld. So, definitely not for kiddos. Let's jump into it. The three of you awake in your cryo-sleep sarcophagi to the sound of sirens and ripping metal. You barely get to the escape pods before the ship is torn apart. Sometime later, you land on this unknown RimWorld. As pieces of shredded starship fall around you, you start making plans to survive. I love this game so much. It is also very much, heavily modded. Extremely heavily modded. Probably the most modded game I've ever played. Oh. Yes, so this thing's gonna be popping up a lot because I lost all of my stuff when I switched computers last year. So this is actually the first save of the game, so we're gonna be seeing a lot of help pop-ups as we go. Oh boy, am I feeling rusty too. All I've done is gotten all my mods on, and that's about it. I'll point out mods as I see or use them. I'll try to make a list as well and have that in my description. Ooh, we have a cave, bears in it, some boom rats. These guys are actually really nice sometimes because say I have an attack coming, I'll see you in a second. An attack coming through one of these, the enemy will fight the bugs first. So these are giant insects. It's been a while since I started a new series and I'm feeling a little rusty on like what I should do. But right now, my first task is kind of figuring out where I want to build. We are in a mountainous, oh, there's another one. A mountainous map. So there can be stuff in here, we just can't see it. It's cool, there's all our stuff fell into a cave. Alright, so I need the... Oh boy, okay. First off, I'm gonna do manual. I always do. I'll change that in a second. This is a mod I use, Days Matter. So there'll be like holidays and throw parties and stuff. Wildlife. Research until you research bench. You can't do this, right? Here's where we are in the world. I went ahead and chose the planet, the location, and the people because normally it takes me like an hour to choose my start. I tried not to be too picky this time, but it was very difficult. Forming caravans, we don't need those right now. I did not realize that was a mod. Oh my god. Like I said, it's been a while since I played it. But I didn't realize all of this information was from a mod I was using. It seems so important. Oh my god. I feel really freaking dumb because I couldn't even remember how to tell everyone they could pick up their stuff. I figured it out. Took me a minute, but we're there. So I believe if you click on allow with the right click, it'll unforbid all items. Which is what we want to do for right now. I think for right now we're going to build into this spot. So structures, we'll grab a wooden door. Get that done, and then we'll try to get some beds. As you can see, I have some furniture mods. I've got a thing that tells me the temperature within things. You can see when people are going to do how to have wall light mod. The biggest and the most important mod to me is psychology is on. So you can see they have all of these other traits which affects how they interact with each other, and I think it's crucial. But first let's get these guys. So she's a 10 in shooting and he's a... Okay, so you need to pick up the knife. Equip that. 12, you can get the that guy, and you can take the pistol. One. Is 0 the pause ability? How does one pause? Space. Space is how I pause. Got it. So, they're gonna start picking up their stuff. We could give them a zone. Let's go ahead and stick that here for now. And then we'll want a stockpile in here of stuff we don't want spoiling, and because the sun affects the quality of items. Whew. The more I'm talking about this, there's so much to explain about this game. It'll become more apparent as we go. I have food mods on. Let's go ahead and build some beds. Structure. Nope. Furniture. I may just throw out sleeping spots for now. There's a way to rotate, I know it. I'll find it. It's one of these. Whoop, not that one. Certainly not that one. Q? Aha. Q. Where's our house? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. They'll be unhappy they slept on the floor, but they'll at least have slept inside. Let's get firefighting there. So the higher the lower the number, the higher the priority. So number 1 would be the highest priority. You can go down to 4. They won't do that thing very much. And so what they'll do when they're just citing their priorities, they'll start at the beginning of this list and they'll go down. So they'll check for all their 1s, and then they'll go through all the 2s and then into the 3s. Oh, we got ourselves a husky. A little male husky. Oh, good boy. And he is bonded to Rye. So him. And you can start training our pets to do things. Like the haul thing is the best thing ever. I would really rather you not put steel in here. Let's see, raw resources. No steel. The reason is because it doesn't have a problem with being in this pile. Let's go ahead and put steel out there too. Because wood will deteriorate. See, it has this health, and so it will deteriorate because it's unroofed and Who's supposed to be building this? Build, construct. Let's get you on a 2 there. So we can get a roof on this. But it's deteriorating, but like the steel won't. Food will. So. You can change the priorities of your storages, which is important later on. Right now we just need to get stuff under a roof. So right now he's roofing that, and we can see what has a roof over here. And with roofs, they need to have some kind of support or they'll collapse. That's something to keep in mind there. Turtles. This is the best kind of area for growing, this darker soil. There's some nice soil. Kind of like having my buildings towards the middle of the map, but it's not a great like mountain to build into here. Coming down into here would be good and fun, but for all we know there's more of these bugs out here. And then we have different materials we can harvest. Oh, there's a lot of jade up there. I don't want to harvest that yet. So I think the higher your like your currency or like how wealthy you are makes the attacks harder. So if I'm not using the jade, I'm not going to harvest that quite yet. I'm also looking for secret little walls like this in the stone faces because you can have like hidden rooms and stuff inside it. I was just seeing if there was anything cool like that to be aware of. Ooh, this is important. The steam geyser right here. Once you can get one of those researched, you can have like pretty much unending power. This would be cool. There's 3 over here. I don't usually build on the edge of the map, but this is like a really nice area. It's got a good gardening space. It's got 3 steam geysers around it. You just have to find ways to block off being attacked. It's the problem with the edge of the map is you don't have much room for, like, defenses. Ooh, there's a turkey. You may need to have someone go hunt that. Alright, so it looks like most of them are idle for some reason. Is this full? No. Be bringing more in here. They must be just taking their break. Let's see. They have unrestricted sleep, recreation. Let's give them like 3 hours like that. Let's get you all working. How many hours is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's do anything there. And then I'll change us to balance it a bit better later. I don't think we have anyone who's a night owl yet. It's kind of nice having them because they work while everyone else is sleeping. Ooh, another mod that is going to become very apparent here in a second that I have is Realistic Darkness. So it may get a little dark. Let's go ahead and throw a light in here for these guys. Thank you for working now, guys. Let's get a zone, a growing zone. This is another thing I like to do. It's kind of in the area. You do this. And so normally what this would do would be, this is where, how you mark where a crop is. If you go here and you choose a no, don't allow sowing, they'll never sow plants in the zone, they will just harvest. So when trees get full, they'll cut them down, they'll pick like these fruits or berries or anything like that when they reach full, like 100%. So that's useful so you don't have to be, because I used to constantly go around and use orders and harvest and just kind of go like this around the map until it caught things and then just do the whole map, but this way I can kind of automate it. And also hide it. Can we hide in general? There. Okay, so we'll just keep it in mind that it's there. Are you eating there, sir? They'll be very unhappy. They're not. Oh, nope, he was equipping that. Now he's eating. Yay, now we have some light. Okay, so allow and forbid. We will not interact with things marked as forbidden. They'll be marked with that little red X. I feel like that's a long time to not tell somebody about that. Like, I've got that. Forming caravans allow you to travel the world. We are certainly not up to that point yet. So now down here I'm looking at this dark. As you can see, it's dark in this area. But this part of the room is lit and over here is dark. That should be fine because they don't like being in the darkness. Except for Leo, I think. If we look at Bio, it's an undergrounder. So I guess we should meet our characters. So we have Taicho Liu. He used to be a cave world tender, which gives us more mining and plants, but takes down his shooting. But he lived in a cave complex deep beneath the surface of an inhospitable world. He worked with other children, tending the tribe's fungus crops. And then he became a colony settler when he became an adult. So he's sort of a jack of all trades. So he had 4 to construction, mining, and plants, which was very useful. Undergrounder, he's okay with being in the dark or underground for long periods of time. He moves faster, and he becomes less stressed. And then we have Sawyer, Rosa Sawyer, apocalypse survivor. She was born during a time of unrest in her home world as climate change threatened mass starvation and flooding. As she grew up, the situation worsened. Billions died and peaceful peaceful states descended into anarchy. Sawyer and her parents did whatever they had to survive. So she's learned how to shoot a gun, but she's lost some of the artistic and intellectual stuff. Then she joined the military. She was an internal spy master. She made sure that the men were loyal, but this made her unpopular. So she's very good at shooting the gun. She loves to party. And she has a great memory, so she won't lose unused skills at half the rate. And then Rye. Let's check him out. He used to be a turtle herder when he was a kid. Born to settler folk, Rye's family had a beloved herd of turtles who protected them by absorbing shots from raiders. At a young age, he was entrusted with the turtles. He bred them too successfully. The massive turtle herds consumed every food source and destroyed the local ecosystem. Oh no. So he had some good benefits there. And then when he became an adult, he became a space marine medic. He joined the colony contract expeditionary force as a medic. The mission turned bad when the colonists turned out to be suffering from a zombie-like disease, and he ran and fought for days. Good lord. Cornered by wounded men, he sprayed enough ammunition to wear out 4 machine gun barrels and learned the value of high volume fire. But his nickname Noob stuck with him from that day forward. I did change it from Noob to Rye. So shooting, melee, and medical. He feels limited by the feeble human body and has often dreamed of enhancing it by artificial body parts, and he moves faster. And I think he actually has conical ear implant, so he doesn't hear as well. But I am curious if yeah, that gives him like a permanent boost because he has that thing in his ear, so that's helpful. So yeah, you can see what makes them unhappy. If this gets too low on these bars, they can have major or minor breakdowns. All their other stuff. Very good. Everybody's having a good nap. Where's our puppy? Hello? Where's my husky? Let's build an animal sleeping spot in here. He won't sleep there for now, but he's somewhere. Oh, wow. He has wandered off a little bit. But from now on, he'll return to go to sleep on that bed. I can also limit where they go with zones. Like I can just expand the home area. That means things like if a fire enters the home area, they'll put it out. If the fire's outside the home area, they ignore it. But you can also just have various types of home areas. Or work zones. Man, it's been a long time since I've played a game where I spend time off camera. Like a lot of time off camera. Doing stuff. Like Planet Zoo, I time-lapse it. Stuff I got at Kynseed is mostly just walking places. Yeah, it's been a long time since I want to do stuff off camera. What I want to do now is plan where we want stuff. I'm trying to decide if we want an access into the cave from here, or if we want this to be outside of our place. But I think maybe I'll do a wall like that. So what I'm doing here is just planning. Let's have that inside. Let's throw up a wall like there. Here. Hard to decide on some of these places how we want the walls to look. Problem is that allows a lot of places for people to attack. As people start getting smarter the longer you play, so they'll start breaking down walls to get in. Or like, if they see you have one stone, like say here, and they find that this spot is easier to break through than their wall, they'll go through that. Like, I think that's gonna be my, like, area of influence. All goes according to plan. Fortunately, there's not an area of, like, good growing stuff. But we can deal with that. Because I have mods for that. Ooh! I'm doing the wrong thing. Okay. That took longer to process than it should have. This is not what I wanted to be doing. But yes, I have mods that allow me to make like fertilizer and like. That'll be good. What I wanted to be doing was making a home border. Like this. Yeah, that looks better. Dork. Alright. So clearly, if you zoom in right here, there's an open area right here. You can see the wall doesn't cover it. So there's probably some kind of cavey, something pretty small right in there. Alright. So let's remove that. I'm just kind of filling out what I would consider the home area. I go out on these stone areas because we may dig out into it, and there's been times where I'm like, why won't they do what I want them to? Oh, because it's not technically in the home zone. So, super curious on what's over here. What material is this? Marble? Ooh. Slate. I have, I believe, a mod that changes the strength of different stones to be more realistic. Can't remember if they had a difference before or if they were pretty much the same and just looked different. But it just felt like something like marble should be stronger than other, like limestone, you know? Now that we have that marked as the home area, I'll probably end up clearing that in a bit, and then I'll do a growing thing in it for now. So that's still connected. Click it. Don't allow, and then I'll change it once we have things we actually want to plant. For right now, that's what we're gonna do. I do wonder about these guys. Non-ideal temperature, so they're growing at a slower rate. This might be useful in the future. Low stool. Yeah, I'm not sure how those guys work. Never built up against caves before. But they'll be useful because then we can just build rooms off of them. I've also set... I should probably let the game play for a little bit. I've also set one of the turkeys to be hunted. So Liu probably will do that. Either Rye or Sawyer. I thought Liu was the one with a gun. Nope, he's the knife. Okay, yeah. We don't want Leo going after it. They won't hunt without a gun. Can't imagine why they don't want to go up and use a shiv on things. Where you going, Sawyer? You gonna go get that turkey? I kinda wish it wasn't you, and that it was Rye. But you go pistol that turkey. Alright, so... we've made it for our first night, which is always good. I guess I can leave that for now. I should probably start planning out where I want stuff. The biggest thing I want to get started is getting a fridge going, which is basically a room with a very powerful AC in it. Okay, so this is kind of what I've got planned. It's probably a little hard to see and or understand, but we've got a big box here with divided into 4, and then we've got little 2 boxes on each side. So what I usually do is like a kitchen and fridge and dining area in the center, and then I have bedrooms off to these sides, and then work areas off in the corners like so. Ooh, I don't remember how big this thing is. Who knew? Alright, so about too close. I used cheats to look at this. Just because I don't want to get too far into the build and have this all messed up. So I guess I'm going to scoot everything one up in between episodes. This will be what we end up building. And hopefully we'll get the fridge in the next episode so we could start storing food. This one does have winters, I think. World. So we can click here. Info? Never mind. I thought there was a place you could see all of the information about the square you're on. But I guess not. But we can look at a similar one. See the average temperature, the movement difficulty. So we can grow 30 out of 60 days. Okay. Yeah. We're gonna get our garden started. We're gonna build up that middle area, get a fridge going. I know this is kind of a all over the place first episode, but it's kind of like that when you start out in RimWorld. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it. And until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day.